I'm sharing this today because so much of the work that I do through Cellular Alchemy Psychosomatic Therapy comes from understanding how our early life experiences shape the way our body holds emotion, belief, and identity. So here's an example of childhood conditioning. So growing up, one of the messages I heard the most was, be quiet, behave. Why can't you just be a good girl like your brother? I was often told to sit in the corner, to stop talking, to be quiet. And if you know me, you know that I'm actually quite expressive and very much the opposite. I love connection. I love conversation. I love engaging with people. So being told to be quiet hit me so deeply. An example of that is there's a story that I remember this story about a record. So I remember one day walking downstairs carrying my favorite record. I don't know why I was taking it downstairs. The record player was upstairs. So it made no sense. However, it didn't change what happened. I tripped and fell down the stairs. 13, 14 flights of stairs. Not only did I fall, I broke the record. I smashed it. And I was so devastated because it was my favorite record. But what happened next stayed with me far longer than the fall itself. In fact, I still remember it like it was yesterday. And instead of somebody asking if I was okay, what I got instead was a spanking for breaking the record. Yeah, I know. Another story or another example is gymnastics. There were so many other moments. Like, I remember I'd be picked up from gymnastics and I'd be so excited about what I learned, what I'd done. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, Dad, let me tell you, this is what I did. And all I got was, shh, you're interrupting the hockey game. I've had to stop watching the hockey game to come pick you up, so be quiet. Yeah, that's what I heard. So little by little, the message that formed inside little Melanie was that my voice doesn't matter, that I'm not worthy, and I'm not a good girl. Another story is my birthday. I remember one birthday, it was probably my 9th or my 10th. And I had friends over, which was very rare because my birthday, I'm from Canada, and my birthday is in summer. So most kids are on holidays. But I remember my dad coming home and he was upset about something. And he started grabbing all of my toys from upstairs in the living room where we were and throwing them down the stairs, yelling, "Get down there where you belong." Then the Malta story. After that, we'd moved to Malta. We were there for about 2 years. And in that time, I was either 10, 11. There was a group of us. And we went somewhere. And as kids, there wasn't a lot to entertain us. We don't have all the games and stuff that people have now. There's no phones, there's none of that. So we made our own fun. So with this group, and like I said, we didn't have anything to entertain us. We had to do it ourselves. So there was this area, and it was where you could crawl into the ground, like if it was a cave, and then there was a hole. So you'd pop up the hole somewhere else. And so we were doing this cycle, right? We would go into the cave and then pop up the hole, walk around and pop up, walk around, pop up, walk around. We're doing this over and over and over and over again until one time. Yeah. I banged my head. One of the times I jumped up, I hit my head on one of the sharp rocks, because it was all rock. In case you don't know, Malta's a rock. It's just rock. And when I popped up and I hit my head, I remember I still managed to get out of the hole, but I grabbed my head, and I remember saying to myself over and over and over and over and over and over, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. You're okay, you're okay, you're okay. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. And what's funny is I have a crown now where I hit my head and a scar because of that. But anyway, moving forward, when I finally, I was walking back to my parents and holding my head, and then I don't know what it was, but I looked at my hand and it was covered in blood. And despite every fiber of my being trying not to cry, how can you not stop it? I was terrified. I was so scared. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen. So when I got to my parents, naturally, I showed them and I told them what happened. And the response that I received was, serves you right. Very different for a child, isn't it? The real emotional impact is that experiences like that shape us. They create belief systems like, I'm not worthy, I'm not important, I shouldn't express myself, I should stay quiet. And here's the really important thing. For me, that was my experience. That was my perception. It was my perception as a child. It doesn't mean that my parents' intention was that, but that's what it was. That was my truth. And my nervous system and my body cannot separate those things. Yours can't. And in psychosomatic therapy, we understand something very important. Our body stores emotional experiences. It stores the beliefs that form when we are young. It forms from those experiences, those stories that I'm sharing. I'm not sharing them to go, oh, poor me, or anything like that. I'm sharing them to show you how they created a belief system. Because over time, those experiences influence my posture, my nervous system, my health, and of course, the way I moved through life. So for me, so much of my healing journey has been about reclaiming my voice, learning that it's okay to speak, learning that it's okay to express myself, learning that I can say no, that I have boundaries, learning that I am who I am, and that who I am is actually allowed to exist. And that is so fucking massive. So massive. That's why I do the work I do today through Cellular Alchemy. Because when we start to understand the stories our body is holding, the his story or the her story, we can begin to release them. We can create a new relationship with ourselves. And that's where real transformation begins. So I invite you to be true to you and shine your light too.